So, how were our football teams doing at that time?
Well, both football teams were really performing well in the 60s. My team, the best team,
Yeah.
Everton, we won 2 league championships and the FA Cup under their fantastic manager, Harry Catterick. Now, the other team, the Reds, actually, they also did well because they also won 2 league championships and they also won an FA Cup.
Wow. Did you ever actually see the Beatles live?
I did. How lucky am I? I saw the Beatles at the Floral Hall in Southport in 1963. And many other famous bands played that gig as well. So
Right.
it was an evening to remember.
Yeah. How did these bands influence young people in Liverpool at that time?
Strangely, it seemed as though every young person in Liverpool was in a band, even if they couldn't play an instrument. I suppose it was like being in a gang or something, but you'd ask somebody, which band are you in?
Yeah,
And they'd just answer you, even if they couldn't play the guitar.
exactly.
Everyone was in a band. It was
Wow.
what you were supposed to do. A great many young musicians in the city were inspired by these bands, and many would go on to become really famous themselves.
Right. Do you remember things being cheaper back then? And what other things do you remember from that time?
Well, prices. I mean, with inflation, all prices rise over time, but
Yeah.
I do remember very fondly that you could buy 4 blackjacks or 4 fruit salads for a penny. So even though
It's changed a lot.
even though farthings have gone,
Yeah.
halfpennies were still around. A
Yeah.
halfpenny, a halfpenny. And so you could either have 2 blackjacks for a halfpenny and 2 fruit salads for a halfpenny,
Wow.
or 4 blackjacks or fruit salads for a penny. That was special. But, people seemed to be happier in those days. I mean, perhaps that's just my misguided nostalgia, remembering the past more brightly than it was. But people did seem to be happier. And you could just go around to your friend's house or anybody's house and just knock on the door and say, "I just came to say hi," or "Do you want to come out to play?" Or you didn't need an invitation or a text message. So it seemed that as though people were more sociable in those days than they are nowadays on social media. Yeah, exactly. It was a happier time.
Yeah.
I
So,
think.
do you think that it was better than it is now?
Well, we've got better hospitals, we've got better schools, we've got better roads, we've got better, all those things. But surely the most important thing was people's happiness and well-being. I think I remember that people were happier because they mixed more. We were together more.
So you prefer the 60s to now?
I'm afraid I do.